Welcome to Walking with Jabo. Today we're doing Woods Walk Gun Talk number 43. I don't know how much firearm talk we have this week, but we do have a lot of stuff to talk about this week. So today is July 13th. And today I want to talk about Jeffrey Epstein and how I'm sick to death of hearing about that son of a bitch's name. And the reason why I'm sick of it is it seems a good half of the MAGA base is upset with President Trump. Well, maybe not half, probably less than half, but the major influencers online are upset with President Trump, and they're upset with Pam Bondi specifically, and they want Trump to fire Pam Bondi, and he's not going to do that. And I'm going to tell you why he's not going to do that. Because all you have to do is look back to his first term, where he had Jeff Sessions as Attorney General, who screwed him over, and he had the what's his face after that, Bill Barr, who also screwed him over. Would not look into election fraud, would not do anything. And his office was leaking stuff, presumably from him, but he was too cowardly to do it himself. So Trump has a history of not trusting whoever's in charge of the Department of Justice, and he needs the Department of Justice to do a great many things during this term, which Pam Bondi is doing. And you need to understand it from President Trump's point of view, that he needs somebody that is loyal and somebody that's MAGA, that he can trust, and he trusts her. And I trust President Trump's judgment on that, and I will support what Trump supports. And all I'm going to do to keep in focus is realize, as I switch to the other camera, and what we have to realize is that we have a lot of things we need to do and people need to keep in perspective. Hi everybody. We need to keep in perspective that everybody we voted for, and what I mean voted for is people we voted for Trump to put in these positions of power, everybody we voted for was placed in these positions that we voted for them to be in. Kash Patel, absolutely someone I trust emphatically, veteran law enforcement officer, honest guy. And Dan Bongino, same thing. So they came out and said that there's no files. There's no Epstein files. There's nothing there. And apparently the base automatically, since most of MAGA is conspiracy theory based anyway, which I can say that because I am MAGA. And the only conspiracy theories I care about are ones that are proven true and ones that actually have facts to either back it up or not back it up. So the fact is, I trust Kash Patel and Bongino, and this is basically what people are asking us to believe, if this is a big cover-up by Trump to hide rich and famous important people. One, you would have to get a very belligerent Dan Bongino and Kash Patel, who think independently and are very emphatic about their decisions and opinions, to flip like that and cover up for these mega rich a-holes that they hate. Number two, Pam Bondi was the Attorney General of Florida, who did a good job as Attorney General, and other people in MAGA have not been happy with her in Florida. I don't know the whole story on that, but I do know that Trump did not get shot in the face and have assassination attempts, almost get locked up for life, go through all the hell that he's gone through, the defamation, the attempts to bankrupt his companies, threatening his kids, investigating them, just to sell us out like that, and to get everybody else that he appointed in these positions, who we know would not go along with that, to go along with that. Sorry, my friends, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. The facts don't back that up. And people need to follow this stuff with simple logic. Simple logic. So right now, we have all of this stuff that we are trying to accomplish by winning this election. The best 6 months a president has had in many decades, if ever. And we're going to spend our time talking about fucking Epstein. Really? Wasted energy. The son of a bitch is dead. Maxwell is in prison. I do believe there were video files. I do believe there was a client list. At least a phone book or something. But those are gone. Previous administration destroyed those. Deep state. We'll wait till this person passes. Hello. So we're supposed to believe that that's the story. The same people that played pussyfoot with Hunter's laptop, Steele dossier, they said that Russiagate and Russia collusion was real. That's the same deep state in charge of all of this stuff that hid the Hunter laptop for a year and a half. Some of the files from it are missing. And we're just supposed to assume that when Pam Bondi goes on Hannity and says that the Epstein files are right on my desk. Well, she didn't say that. She was asked that. If you remember and go back and watch the clip. She was asked by the TV person. She said the files are right on my desk. Those files are sitting right on my desk, she said. She wasn't talking about specifically the Epstein list, even though that was the question she was asked. She was talking about the Epstein files, the MLK files, the JFK files. She said, those files, the files are on my desk. She had just been sworn in. She hadn't been to the Southern District in New York yet to even go through that stuff. Kash Patel was not even sworn in the FBI yet when she said that. So, I think she's guilty of enjoying being on TV. And she was being dramatic with her answer. But she wasn't specifically referencing the list. Okay? She loosely referenced everything. Now, she shouldn't have done that. But being the AG of Florida and then being the AG of the United States, It's two different things. It's a much bigger world, bigger politics. And I'm sure she learned her lesson by doing that the hard way, because now the MAGA base wants her fired. And Trump yesterday said he's not going to do that. I just wanted to explain why he won't, as I did a few minutes ago. Trust and loyalty is a hard thing to come by in DC, because everybody's looking to get ahead and do something, undercut you, leak to the media, hamper you. They have their own agenda. So I trust her. I don't think her comment was the sharpest, best one she could have made, but she had just been sworn in, still learning the ropes, and I'll cut her some slack. Now the other argument is, Trump's covering it up. He must be on the list. Well, he's not. He's not. Attorneys that represented victims, Trump has never been identified. In fact, Trump kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago, banned him from coming back. And Epstein was one of these people that schmoozed anyone that had money. That's why there's photos of him with everybody that's important, from Elon Musk to Bill Clinton to whoever else. So in the United States judicial system, you have to prove things beyond any reasonable doubt. Okay? You have to have the evidence. You can't have a flight log that says so-and-so flew to Epstein Island 30 times. Well, so what? That doesn't mean they did anything illegal on it. That just means if there was something demonstratively provable that happened there that was illegal, you can place that person there where something illegal happened. Several victim lawsuits were filed, and they all lost. Why did they lose? There's no evidence, there's no proof. I believe Joe Biden's deep state deleted these files and left a bunch of scraps, things people already knew. And Pam Bondi says there are videos, and she quoted this. There are videos that Epstein downloaded online of child porn. Not videos of clients having sex with kids. They don't have any of those videos. If they did, we would have been told, and I would have trusted Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, who both said, by the way, that Epstein killed himself after years by both of them saying that Epstein was murdered. Things don't add up. Well, they saw everything, and, well, I guess they add up. And we're not going to be lied to by these people. I don't care what people try to say online, and 90% of the time the people that say that are people that hate Trump with a passion. And there are some people upset that I do care about. That would be women specifically, mostly, that voted for Trump 3 times, and they're disappointed, and they think these kids are not going to have justice, and they don't like the way he just brushed it off, seemingly. And I can understand that because I've mentioned on my walk or two that I don't like the way Trump handled it either. But it's not a cover-up. And the other thing is, the man's got a lot on his plate, man. A lot. He's got this immigration issue. He's got the Ukraine-Russia war. He's got Israel and Hamas. He's trying to get peace in the Middle East. He's dealing with the tariffs. He's dealing with getting our country fixed economically. And he's got all these lawsuits going against him. The guy's busy. And I don't mean any offense to anybody that was injured or harmed by Epstein, but we need to move on. Pending new evidence that's actually credible, we need to move on. We got bigger fish to fry in this country. I don't care who gets mad at me for saying that. I'm not belittling what happened to kids. But realistically, these kids are in their 30s now. A lot of them have filed lawsuits that didn't go anywhere. In fact, the one against Alan Dershowitz did a countersuit just to prove a point, and he won. He won his countersuit, and he charged the defendants in that countersuit $0, okay? He didn't take them to the cleaners for money and ruin them. He just wanted to prove the point that he was innocent. And I believe he was. Now, Dershowitz said through attorney-client privilege when he represented Epstein, and also somebody else, that he saw a client list, in his words, and he said he saw the people that are on it, and he knows the names of the people that are on it, but he cannot reveal it because of lawyer-client privilege. And Epstein's dead. So basically Dershowitz is going to be taking that with him to his grave, or he'll tell somebody on his deathbed. So I believe there was a list and there isn't now, I guess is my point. And I think the Biden administration destroyed that, just like they destroyed everything else in this country. And I'm not going to jump on the train of throwing Trump and his admin and causing problems for Trump. I'm not going to throw him under the bus on this. And I think MAGA people doing that should be ashamed of themselves. That we fought this hard to get here. Trump got shot in the face, another assassination attempt, and tried to lock him up for life. Many patriots have been arrested, prosecuted politically, and all right, I got to get this off my chest. What's been going on since 2015 with the media and Democrats? These fucking bastards have been trying to drive a wedge between Trump's base and Trump since 2015, and they haven't been able to. They've failed miserably. The media and Democrats have actually elected Trump twice, well, 3 times, because I believe he won in 2020 also. Just my opinion. And so all of these people tried everything to drive them apart, us and Trump. Elon Musk comes into the picture, empowers Trump, helps him get elected. So they try to divide Elon Musk and Trump. And it turns out Elon Musk is a mental case and ended up doing that on his own. So who's causing problems for Trump right now? His own fucking people that supported him and sweat blood and tears and elected him. I'm not one of those people. I'm going to be loyal to President Trump, period. Nothing is going to alter that. Pending something on the Epstein list or files coming out that actually has a video that's been unaltered of Trump doing something with a minor. then I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear anything about it. It's time to move on, okay? We got bigger things to do than to have a fucking jackass like Epstein fuck everything up with the base, because the base is so conspiracy theory laden with everything that happens as a conspiracy theory. Trump and Elon splits up. Oh, they planned it. They're playing 5D chess or 20D chess or whatever the hell it is now. No, they had a disagreement because there are two people in power, and it's like, you know, it just did what it does. I mean, it was inevitable. It almost happened at Christmas time with the H-1B visas. So, you know, this stuff really fucking pisses me off. You know, we worked this hard to get here. We won everything. Everybody that we wanted appointed to these positions got appointed. All the government cuts we wanted to do were made. The border is closed. The wall's being built. Big beautiful bill passed. Billions of dollars now are going to be going to ICE to grab a bunch of migrants, immigrants, illegals that shouldn't be here, and deporting them. This is everything we voted for. And all of a sudden, Epstein and a fucking client list that's decades old now, from the 80s, is going to come in and drive a wedge between us and Trump. Are you people out of your fucking mind? Seriously, have you lost your fucking minds? Get your head out of your ass and get with the program. We have 4 fucking years to save this country. 3.5 of them are left. Midterms are next year. We have to win midterms next year, or the Trump agenda is going to stop, be halted, or whatever. We don't know what's going to happen with the Senate. Looks good for Republicans. I think they'll hold it, maybe even add a seat or two, but, you know, we got to get with the program, and we got to get on track here, okay? Stop fucking around with this fucking conspiracy theory bullshit, all right? There's nothing there to prosecute Epstein with. He's dead. If there are clients, well, good luck prosecuting them. There's no video files. That's been established. They're not being hidden. They're not being kept from us. And beyond all reasonable doubt means beyond all reasonable doubt. You can't prosecute anyone in America on hearsay evidence. Perfect example. Let's say France had a revolution again, like they do every 150, 200 years or whatever. Let's say they have another one. And I fly to France because I wanted to see the Eiffel Tower before the revolution ruined it. There'll be a flight log showing that I went to France, maybe 10 times. It doesn't mean I participated in the revolution, okay? Just because the revolution happened there doesn't mean I participated in it. How are you going to prove to a jury that somebody that's rich and famous flew to an island specifically to have sex with minors when he could have gone there just to party? He could have had sex with adults, or he could have not had sex at all. He just wanted to party with some people of influence. There's no way to tell, okay? You can't just assume because somebody went there, that's what they did. That's not how the justice system here works. So what I'm saying is, pending new evidence, it's time to get over it and move on. So that's all I'm going to talk about on fucking Epstein, okay? That's my opinion on it. If you hate me for it, I really don't give a shit. I really don't at this point. So, can't be any more blunt than that. So anyway, what else is in the news today? Oh! President Trump got shot in the face a year ago today. So, can't see our mountain range today. We've got trees. So Joey Comparatore was shot and killed protecting his family. Firefighter. So we should be honoring him today. We should be honoring the 2 other people that got shot and wounded. We should be honoring the tragedy that has befallen Butler, Pennsylvania, a really cool town from what I've seen and read, and all these bad things that happened. And we should be talking about the political violence going on today, which has upticked quite a bit, with somebody taking shots at ICE officers in Los Angeles at a cannabis growing farm when it was being raided by ICE. So we have bigger things going on, okay? The political violence is being stoked by Democrat rhetoric. They're encouraging it, just like they did in 2020. None of them were ever held accountable for that. And this is the result. They're doing it again because they feel they finally have something political to use against Trump. Because a couple of fake polls came out saying Trump's popularity and approval on immigration is dropping. That's not true. Those polls were specifically designed to do what's happening now. We're also seeing people going out protesting more organized, and the Department of Justice, with who I was talking about, Pam Bondi, are going to be going after these people, financing them and organizing it because they are inciting violence. So Mayor Bass in Los Angeles has stated that they're going to resist ICE and we're going to fight back. Well, not long after she said that, somebody took a couple of shots at an ICE officer. Somebody's going to get hurt or killed, and it's going to be the Democrats' fault, and the federal government in the end is going to win, because they usually do, and we're on the side of the law. No one is above the law, remember that? So this latest court injunction from a federal judge is just for Los Angeles County, and it's to prevent probable cause, okay? The federal government needs to have probable cause, legit probable cause. They can't just go into a business because they know there's illegals there and brown-skinned people are there. That was the argument in court. But I did some research on this, and there was a law passed in 1996 and signed by Bill Clinton, who was having a tough time at the time getting any of his agenda through a Republican Congress, and a very close Senate removed the probable cause clause, where basically the law says that if somebody is here illegally, they don't have those rights. So that's the law. I really don't know what to tell anybody. So this court injunction is going to be very temporary. It's not going to stand. It's probably going to go to the Supreme Court on an emergency basis. And ultimately, like Tom Homan said at Turning Point USA, which I have to admit, I stopped watching Turning Point USA because every influencer that came on there was Epstein, Bondi, Epstein, Bondi, Epstein, and I couldn't stand hearing it anymore, and I turned it off. So Turning Point USA is supposed to be about celebrating conservatism, The presidential agenda, the agenda for Republicans for 2025 through 2026, plan for midterms next year, and all this stuff. And they're fucking talking about Epstein. It's like, you know, that's what I'm talking about. Now, Tom Homan came on and gave one of the best speeches I've seen in a long time. This guy's a badass. He's the real deal. And he said they're going full steam ahead. None of this stuff is going to stop them. He said President Trump gave us a directive to use whatever means necessary the next time they try to hamper arrests. He said we're going to arrest everybody. So, and the big beautiful bill has a lot of funding for increasing the number of ICE. And the problem with that is, I'll tell you ahead of time, is it takes at least a year of training for these guys. And so they're going to be hiring new ICE officers or getting ICE officers from other law enforcement to join the federal ICE team, I guess. And so that's going to take a while to train them, but the money will be there to do it, and eventually we'll just keep adding more people and more people, and this problem will be underway. So we need to win midterms next year. Very important. Historically, the president that's in power, the other party, almost always wins midterms. They win the House back. It's the public's way of keeping people's powers in check, and there are a lot of people very upset with everything Trump's been doing. There are some people upset with the big beautiful bill, but a poll out today says that 49% of the public supports the big beautiful bill, which is good. That means people aren't listening to the media rhetoric about it, and they understand that what's in it is what Trump ran on, and that's what people voted for at 49.9%. So the approval for that is about just a smidge less than the percentage that voted for Trump into office. So that means it's good. That's good. So, all right, I'm going to turn the camera around now, and I'll take the selfie off. There we go. I got the head cam on now. I'm walking in an area that's got black flies and mosquitoes, and I want to be hands-free so I can motivate through here. So I don't know what else to add to that. You know, there's a lot of stuff in the MAGA base right now that's being driven by these conservative influencers who make money at this, okay? They make money at this. And they also have their core viewers and people they influence too, like Ben Shapiro. He's all extremely pro-Israel. So his entire viewership, for the most part, are all people that are very pro-Israel. And then you have these other ones who have been promoting Trump for 10 years, who all of a sudden are chastising Trump on this Epstein issue and driving a wedge that's helping Democrats. You have Democrats now demanding these Epstein files from the White House, and they're claiming Trump has something to hide. Congressman Ted Lieu is basically saying, from a post he made on social media, that Trump is on that list banging kids, which is why he's not coming clean with it. So the MAGA base right now is helping Democrats. And what have I said on this walk for a long time? Anybody that helps these fucking Democrats are enemies of mine. I'm just not going to tolerate that. So they are effectively, like I said earlier, doing what the media and Democrats failed to do for 10 years, and that is to drive a wedge in between part of Trump's base and Trump, and they're hoping that will be enough to win midterms next year. So that's all the Democrats are trying to do. They're trying to win midterms. AOC also made a post on social media calling Trump a rapist, and it's no wonder he's hiding the Epstein list, because why not? He's a rapist. And that's what she said. So this is the kind of stuff people are saying. And Democrats have nothing going for them right now. This is their Hail Mary. They're going to go for it with the Epstein stuff. And it really pisses me off that any Republican or someone who supposedly is loyal to Trump is going to help any fucking Democrat at this point. At this point in time, when we're trying to do all of this stuff for the country, fix everything, they're going to pull this fucking cheap ass bullshit to get a few clicks on the internet. It just absolutely fucking outrages me. As you can tell, I am legitimately pissed at these fucking people. This is not the fucking time to do this shit. Alright? It's just not. It's not acceptable. And I'm not gonna fucking tolerate it. I'm sorry to get emotional about it, but this fucking shit pisses me off. We worked too fucking hard to get here. Too hard. Harder than anybody ever has. Assassination attempts, attempts to lock him up for the rest of his life, to lock up patriots, to usurp the Constitution, to steal federal firearms licenses from patriots that sell firearms on paperwork errors, and doing whatever they can to subvert the Second Amendment. Yeah, how about that? Did you see that? The woodpeckers are busy today. Well, that was cool. Hope you enjoyed that. I did. Took me a long time to get a video like that of a woodpecker here, as you know. This is the 43rd walkthrough here with the camera, and that's the first time I get that good of a shot of a woodpecker. So we'll call him Woody, obviously. So anyway, you know, I get emotional about this stuff because, you know, I get it. I get it. Some kids were molested, raped, abused, groomed, and the people that did it should be in jail. Well, Ghislaine Maxwell's in jail and Epstein's dead because he knew he was going to jail. So he wasn't murdered. And I trust Kash Patel and Dan Bongino on that. So And that's it. As shitty as that is, whatever evidence there was, whatever physical list there was, the deep state disappeared those while Biden was president. And if Trump was on it, they would have used it against Trump to make sure Kamala won, and she would have won. Absolutely, no doubt in my mind, Kamala would be president right now. So, knowing that, you're going to try to tell me with a straight face that Democrats, A.G. Garland, would not release that to end Trump forever, okay? End Trump forever. I want to say it again. That would end Trump forever. There's no Democrat on that list, or anybody else powerful in the world, that they would not release that info to protect. Meaning the Democrats would not protect somebody on that list. And I've seen people online, oh, it's mutually assured destruction. They wouldn't release it because it would ruin Democrats too. Well, this was 30 years ago, okay? 20 plus years ago, whatever the hell it was. These Democrats they're protecting are people like Bill Clinton. Or friggin' Bill Clinton's starting to walk like Biden and look like him now. He's old. And so, you know, we're going to believe that they're going to protect the Clintons and let Trump be president to do what he's doing now? Are you people crazy? That's not going to happen. That's just not going to happen in the world that I live in. Anybody would be expendable that isn't currently in power. Now, if Joe Biden was on that list and he was the president, that's probably one of the only people they would protect. And I don't think he was. So, here we'll get some raspberries. See if I can get at least one here without killing myself. See that? I'd like to find some more of those. I don't see any more. This whole bush has been plucked already. The deer came through here and ate them. Well, they had one berry. Is there any more over here? No, those all been plucked. These were all. No, these are ones right here that are still growing. See that? These are all going to be raspberries. Probably in a couple weeks or less. I did have a ripe one though. I ate it. It was good. Oh, let's go over this. Through here this way. Hopefully I'm not picking up any ticks. If I was going to, I just would have. So I think I'll go on this rock and do a quick tick check. I do believe most of the ticks for the season at this time of year are not active like they were. Oh. I had a bug on me, but it wasn't a tick. He jumped off. He jumped ship. So I don't see any more berries here. Oh, I see some. I see some raspberries. Oh, look at this, guys. See that right here? pluck this one. Yummy. These are good. Look at that, fresh raspberries. Got a whole bush. Just want to eat a few. Oh, I dropped one on the ground. We used to go pick raspberries and blackberries, and we used to put them in a bowl with milk, my brother and I. Sorry. I'm feasting. See that? Free from nature. Oh, these are so good. Fresh off the vine. Oh, I wish you guys could taste these. That's all I'm saying. Now, I'm not going to eat all of them, even though I could. I'm going to have a couple more. I'm going to leave the rest with the deer and the animals. But there you go. Told you guys we would have some. Oh, there's some more over here. Okay, I lied. I'm gonna eat a few more. They're getting ripe too. They're almost ready to fall off. So, if I don't eat them now. There you go. No poisons here, no insecticides, just fresh berries. Look at them all. Wow. See them all? Look at them all. Hundreds of them in there. These are all thorny bushes too. You're not getting in there without bleeding, unless you're dressed for it. So, well, I think that's it. See? Aren't you happy? You walk with Jabo. You get to eat some. You get to eat some raspberries. We got it on video too. So you walk by here, and yeah, I can see some in there too. So this whole hedgerow right here, these are all raspberries. Tons of them. There's probably all kinds along this trail all the way down. They just grow all over the place. There's a bush right here. Well, that was a nice snack. and a couple dozen raspberries. Yummy. Alright, we'll walk down here, see what else we see. We also used to pick blackberries. I like the raspberries better, but blackberries are good too. So we will, I'm doing a raspberry check. I think I see a bush over there. There's some more that ain't out yet. I'll bet you those are blackberries. They're coming out at a different time than the raspberries. That makes sense to me. And I can't tell the difference when they're not matured yet because they look like these little greenish pods. Now look right there. There's a whole entire bush filled with them. Actually, those might be choke cherries. Yeah, those are choke cherries. My dad used to make choke cherry wine. But there's some buds on that plant right here. All through here, a whole bunch of them, tons of them. Way in the back there, there's going to be like, you'd probably be able to get 2 or 3 quarts worth here. But they're not out yet. So I think those are going to be blackberries. Probably another couple weeks. Maybe a couple weeks we'll come walk through here and check it out. I'll look up online when those come out so we can come look. Wasn't that fun? I see some more in there. Well, those might be choke cherries. They don't look like raspberry bushes. Walk through this way. There's another bush here with a whole bunch of pods on it. Right here too. They're not out yet. Well, we'll see if there's anything down this way. Well, that was a nice surprise today, don't you think? Probably blueberries through here too. Oh, there is. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Right here. The blueberries. I thought that looked familiar. Maine has a lot of blueberries. Yep. Look at that, a whole bunch of blueberries here. Isn't that cool? We'll pick a few here. We'll pick a few here. I'll eat a small handful. Look at that. Fresh on the vine. How freaking awesome is that? See that? Right there. Fresh blueberries. Yummy. Those are good. All right, so we got blueberries. We got these soon-to-be berries. They're still green. I'm assuming these are going to be blackberries. It's on a thorny bush. They look like the same berries. The raspberries are already out. So I would assume those are blackberries. They have a different window, I guess. Well, my friends, how friggin' awesome is that? I'll walk down this way. I don't know what these red berries are, but I'm not going to eat one. They're orange. Well, you guys been hearing me tell you about raspberries, blackberries, and this and that. We saw the bushes, and I was like, well, I hope those are out sometime when we come by here. And we just had some. We just had a free snack. I had a small handful of blueberries, and I had a handful of raspberries. And those raspberries were nice and sweet, full of flavor, about as organic as you can get, fresh off the vine. No insecticides, no poisons. Wow, this water here is all dried up. For the most part. Barely a trickle. And we got a bench. I got a bench all the way out there. I think we'll walk out there, but last time I came through here I ended up with 2 ticks on me, so I'm kind of leery. Well, you can see why I want to come here. We'll walk on down to that bench, and I will pull my pant legs up and do a tick check. And like I've told you guys, ticks, they're not like ticks in the movies. They're very slow for the most part. And oh look, a turkey feather. See that? We have a turkey feather. So I just put the turkey feather in my hat. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Oh look, here's another one. Turkeys were losing their feathers. I'm wondering if there was a fracas here. Was there a fracas? There are a bunch of turkeys running for their lives through here. We have seen turkeys in this field before. Hello my friends, I got the 2 turkey feathers here tucked in my hat band. Gobble gobble. So it's a beautiful day out here today. The wind is catching my feathers. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. I'm getting pretty pissed at some people. I am. They're helping Democrats and it's pissing me off. So don't do anything to help Democrats, please. Think factually, okay? You would have to have Pam Bongino, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and President Trump all turn on us and sell us out to protect somebody. I'm not buying it. Not with these guys. Not buying it. Also, there was a rumor that Dan Bongino took Friday off and threatened to resign because of Pam Bondi's handling of files. That was leaked by 4 anonymous sources. Okay, what have I said on my walks plenty of times about anonymous sources? Anonymous sources are bullshit. They're either going to be low-level people that hate Trump, and look how they leaked it to. Did they leak it to Fox News? Did they leak it to the Daily Caller? Conservative stuff? No. It was leaked to fucking Axios, one of the far left extremist bullshit news sources. It was leaked to them. Do you honestly believe it's true? I mean, seriously? No, I don't. I don't believe that at all. They just wouldn't leak. They wouldn't leak something like that to Axios of all people, you know? So it doesn't make sense, doesn't add up. And, you know, if you're not going to put your name on it and it's an anonymous source, then Axios quite literally could have just made it up. They might have saw people online talking about the Epstein stuff, and, oh, this would be a great time to have anonymous sources to wedge between MAGA and Trump. And I think that's exactly what we saw. And I think a lot of MAGA people fell for it. And, because that was something else that was trending online everywhere. Bongino's going to quit because Pam Bondi lied to us. White House denies that. He denies there's any issues. Trump does, and so does other agencies. Kash Patel issued a statement last night. Very short post online. Said that the stuff with Epstein, there's just nothing there. You know, there's nothing there. In other words, you know, there's nothing there. So it definitely is time to move on. People need to get with the friggin' program, you know. Enough of this shit. Enough of this friggin' crap. Well, so far I don't have ticks running on me, as far as I can tell. That was another day that, you know, it's hard to tell because there was one night I was walking on streets with no sidewalks and brushing against brush on the side of the road. And I got home after my walk, undressed to get in the shower, and I had a friggin' tick on my right calf. Another time I had one in my armpit, which I must have picked up on my arm, brushing against something. So, I can hear a tree out here creaking. Trees make all kinds of weird noises when the wind blows. We got a nice breeze today. It's nice, you know, enjoying a Sunday. Today was supposed to be overcast and gloomy all day. That was the forecast. And it's like there's not a cloud in the sky. I'm telling you, these guys just don't know what they're talking about. They use computer models and they're guessing. They're using computer modeling their guesses. instead of using intuition. So we don't get accurate forecasts anymore. But it was a damn nice day to pick some raspberries, wasn't it? Alright, I think we'll head back now. Just wanted to head down this way. Don't want to lose my feathers. Turkey feathers! Isn't that cool? Well, I think we're going to head back now. I'm going to switch to the other camera. I think it's that old dead tree right there making that noise. Leaning up against another one, swaying back and forth. It's making kind of a It's a damn beautiful day today. Wowee. So my friends, as we see the gentle breeze blowing the grass, I don't know what to make of it all, my friends, but I do know that I am a Trump supporter. I'm loyal to Trump, and I will always be loyal to Trump. He's the real deal. He's not pulling a fast one on us. He's not lying to us, and that's all I know. I don't think we're ever going to see any kind of poll on what percentage of MAGA is upset with Trump. My perception online is it's probably 30%, which is not good. And it's the 30% being influenced by a lot of these online influencers. And it's pissing me off, because a lot of these influencers are very big names. Jack Posobiec, people like that. I don't think Pam Bondi's screw up was intentional, I guess is my point. She made a mistake. It was not a good look, and the way Trump answered that in the cabinet meeting also was not good, but I think he was under a lot of stress that day, especially when he was talking about Putin. He had very bad words to say about Putin. So, you know, he's got a lot going on. We don't know what the hell is going on with Trump right now, but I know it's not that. So, he didn't get shot in the face just to lie to us, I guess is my point. The short version story of that. That would be completely ridiculous. He has my loyalty. Because I love my country. A lot. So, all right, let's find our way out of here again. Walk by the blueberry patch. Pretty awesome. I'm going to sound like an idiot for a minute, but they just come right out of the ground. Free food. Yep, these are all going to be blackberries. Look at them all. This whole thing right here. It's probably 200-300 berries here, easy, maybe more. And they're all green right now. We'll definitely come back this way. I'm going to look up online blackberries when they come out. I'm going to look up how long it takes from being a green pod like that to turning into a blackberry ready to eat. I'm going to Google it. Here's the blueberry patch. You can tell the blueberry patch. You get these little flowers right here. That means blueberries. That's what that means. Very cool. How awesome is that? Isn't God great? Free berries. Yippee! Trees whipping around today. I have a wind kicking up. I might have to take the turkey feathers out. They keep getting caught in the wind. Yeah. Excuse me. So it looks like the berries grow where there's sunshine. So you're not going to see any in here. Whew. Very nice walk through here today. There's no mud. Bugs are on the low side because we haven't had rain. There's a woodpecker on the back side of that tree. He's crawling up out of view. Well, we got some woodpecker footage today. Well, that's good. One of my favorite places in here I like to walk. Getting a good workout today, despite stopping a lot. I'm all sweaty. A lot more effort walking in the woods on trails, because you got to walk over things, stretch, and go up hills, down hills. So you walk 4 miles in the woods, it feels like 6 miles in the city, physically. We're only going to do about 4 miles in here today. I love these rock walls. Property boundary markers. Late 1700s into the 1900s. Also, I wanted to clarify something from my last walk 2 walks ago, where we walked in Lewiston, Auburn, along the river and across the river. I mentioned that Lewiston became a city in 1871. But that's not accurate. In 1795, Lewiston became Lewiston Plantation. It was called Lewiston Plantation. There was about 500 residents, and I actually saw the resident list online in the archives. And I had to look it up on the old Massachusetts archives, because this township here belonged to Massachusetts at the time until 1865. In 1865, Lewiston became a city officially. Auburn in 1869. But before that, we were just kind of like colony plantation townships that belonged to Massachusetts. Maine became a state to add an extra couple of senators and Congress people. It was for political power, and it was done because of pre-Civil War. You'd have to look up the Missouri Compromise, because it would take power away from the Democrats down south. So that's why it was done. That's how Maine became a state. Finally. Thankfully, separated from Massachusetts, a communist state these days. Maine and New Hampshire are basically the only 2 states that have not folded into the ultra-liberal leftist camp, although they really tried with Maine. They're losing seats and power. Right there we get some raspberries, but I already know this field is filled with ticks, and it's also filled with poison ivy, and I am not in the mood for either one of those. So I shan't be doing that. But they came through here and they mowed this trail, so now I can walk on it without getting infested with ticks, hopefully. Hope so anyways. Looks like they went through here not long ago. These aren't even dried out yet. Probably did this morning. It smells fresh cut. Whew. All right, I got my heart rate up in a good way. Oh, a monarch butterfly. Beautiful. Butterflies are out today, so that's good. Good workout today. And it's always nice to get free berries. And we got free turkey feathers. Nobody else out here today except that one person we saw walking out. That elderly lady. Doing a quick tick check. Not seeing anything on me today. It's kind of out of season right now. It's usually May into the first half and last part of June, and that's gone by. So also we haven't had rain. That's also very helpful with that. That's not to say I don't have one on me. I'll find it when I get in the shower. That's why whenever I walk in the woods, as soon as I get home, I take a shower. Soap up really good. Very important to soap up and lather up very good. They can't hang on and they fall off when you rinse off. And if they've already embedded in your skid, drinking your blood, then, well, too late. You have to remove those a different way. You can use tweezers, as long as you don't break the heads off inside the wound so it gets infected. I've only had to do that once in my life. To do that once, and I used needle nose pliers with my arm behind my back because it was on my shoulder blade. I was very careful when I was pulling on it. Eventually it let go and came out, and I put it in a little glass of water so I could physically look at it to make sure I got all of it, and I did. So nasty business, that's all I'm saying. Very nasty, those damn things. But they prefer things like armpits, places like your groin area, your crack, armpits, behind your knees, behind your legs, up by your butt, your shoulder blade. One of the most common places is your shoulder blade. It crawls all the way up from the ground, and it just knows where to go. And that damn thing was on me for 2 days before I noticed it. And I only noticed it because my arm started to hurt. I got somebody jogging through here. Hi. First person I see in here, besides that old lady. Now this is usually a heavily infested mosquito patch right here, and I am not seeing any mosquitoes headed towards me. There's really not any today. We haven't had any rain. That all coincides with rain, and they all live in that low-lying mucky water like that, which usually goes all through there. You can usually see the water, but it's dried up. Whew. So thank you for walking with me today. We're heading on out of here now, and I've had a good workout today. When I feel like I've had a good workout, that's good enough for me, regardless of how many miles, which I'm still going to have between 4 and 5 miles anyway. So, but I am going to leave here and end this video with you up ahead at some point, and the rest of my walk will be off camera on a street. So it just doesn't mix well to have the street on with the woods video. They don't mesh well together when you watch it back. Looks like two different planets. So that's my reasoning with that. So this is the secondary camera, and you tilt this up like this, hold it while you're walking, and you can see I duct taped the sections together. I should have a new selfie stick delivering soon. So we'll use that when we get it. I gotta go buy some meat in a little while. Cook something nice. My face is all wet with sweat. That's what I wanted today. So the other thing too is, just before I started recording, this guy in a white car pulled up, and he saw me walking on the side of the road, and he was like, "You need a ride, brother?" "No, I'm all set." He goes, "Okay," and then he drove off. I was going to say, well, I'm doing this to myself on purpose. Thanks for the offer, but he left before I could do that. Nice of him to offer, though. Whew. Well, this is a nice breeze today. They said the humidity was going to increase throughout the day, and tomorrow is going to be 90. It's going to be muggy, so no doubt I'll be walking tomorrow night, not during the day, as I said earlier, at the risk of sounding redundant. Well, we're gonna walk on out of here. Those damn raspberries were very tasty. Nothing like fresh fruit and vegetables. I mean, right there off the vine, you know, literally. But that's true, you know, my younger brother and I used to go pick a whole bunch of those, would bring them home, and we learned how to do that from our older brother, who brought us a couple times on the hiking trails. And we filled up containers of them, Tupperware, with Tupperware lids. And I used to love eating blackberries, especially. Blackberries mixed with raspberries and milk with sugar. You put sugar in there. It was really good. Alright, I head down this way. Somebody coming here. Hi.
Hello.
Keep an eye out for turkey feathers. I should have given her one of my turkey feathers. I think she said she'd like to find one of those. I should have just given her one. Oh well. Alright. Head on down the road. Gonna head on out of here. I just hit 4 miles according to the app in my ear, so I'm good with that. Definitely going to make my 5 miles today, just not all in here. Well, I gotta say, this was a lot of fun today. I'll walk through here. This is Woods Walk Gun Talk number 43. Don't know if I mentioned it at the beginning. I know I mentioned it was Woods Walk Gun Talk, but it is a Woods Walk Gun Talk number 43. And the way I put it in the title is Woods Walk, comma, Gun Talk. So that implies both or either or. My woods walk is just a woods walk like I do in the city walks. And I talk about politics or anything else that pops in my head. Like I haven't seen the new Superman movie. Supposedly there's some kind of controversy with that, having to do with woke politics. I don't know what it is. But I've seen a couple of people online that are conservatives that say it was good. So it's probably just overblown gossip nonsense. And don't mess with my Superman movies. I've been a Superman fan since I was little. Looks like some people took some bricks and they put them on here. Building something with bricks. Bricks. Alright, I'm going to walk on down here now and walk out of the park. I'll switch over to the other camera when I get downhill and turn it around, say my goodbyes, my final thoughts. So we have talked about a lot of things walking through here. We have come through here before where people were sledding, tobogganing down this hill. We're doing all kinds of things together, my friends. Now we're going to mosey on out of here. Probably say my goodbyes on the gazebo, which isn't really, not even sure if it is a gazebo. Kind of looks like one. Gazebos are usually round with stairs that go to it, but this is just kind of like a square thing with a roof on it. I don't know if that qualifies as a gazebo or not. Oh, got a lady down here. Hello. Hello. At turkey molting today.
You know, I just saw a turkey down there.
Yep, there's a lot of them in there. Alright, we'll head down this way. We'll head on out of here. So anyways, my friends, she said she saw a turkey down this way, so we'll stop and see if we can see any movement in the woods. I don't see anything. All right, we'll go over here. Gotta go over to that gazebo. There's something squawking behind us. Sounds like a bird that's being strangled or something. All right, my friends, I want to thank you for walking with me today. Click like and subscribe, share the content, more importantly, be good to one another. And the wind is kicking up. I think that warm front is coming through right now. And I just want to say God bless you and your family, and say a prayer for Trump and the country. and pray for this blasted Epstein nonsense to get put by the wayside and people get back on track, which I think they will. President Trump seems very annoyed at the base for doing this to him, and I don't blame him. So anyway, we have some turkey molting feathers, and I'm going to put this with the other one I have at home. I love turkey feathers, and these are just like the pen quills they used to use in ink, and cut the end off because it's a hollow tube, and it kind of mimics. You dip it in ink and you can write with them, or you can just leave the point on them. It's a quill, a plume in French, a plume, feather. Nowadays, the French call something you write with a stylo, which is a ballpoint pen type thing. So anyway, my friends, see you on the next walk, and thank you for walking with me today on Woods Walk Gun Talk number 43. See you later, everybody. Bye bye, friends.